Welcome back. So if you're just joining me, this is the next video in the standard information training series. So this is going to be direct post test integrations. So the immediate video before this was setting up a direct post integration. So if you didn't watch that, you might want to go back and review that quickly. If you just want to jump right into it, we are now going through how you can test a direct post integration. So this is how you can test getting data into another platform. In the last video, we set up the full integration. So we looked at what it is that the buyer's expecting from us. We plugged it all in. And now we're going to go ahead and test that and send some test data over to that endpoint. So when you jump into this, it's going to pull over most of the settings that we put in the integration. One thing it is not is going to be the test point endpoint. So this is going to be where we're sending this over. Modern systems will have a testing endpoint, so this will be separate from the production endpoint. This basically will keep test data from getting into a production database. But since you're doing a direct post integration here, a lot of older platforms do not have separate endpoints for this, so they don't have separate testing endpoints. So you may have to send it to the production endpoint and then just confirm with the client or whatever platform you're trying to send that into that that data waded in before you set things live. But we're using a platform that's quite modern here, so we got you, and we have our testing URL endpoint. So we're going to go ahead and add that in here. Everything else got pulled over from the integration, so we're good here. So we're going to go and click save. Now, some systems, especially older systems, and especially if you're sending into a production environment, might have a special field you need to send just for testing purposes. This could be something like, they want the full name to be, test or something like that, in which case we'll sub this in just for the testing purposes. In this case, we don't have anything like that, so we're not going to use this field. It's completely optional. It just makes life a lot easier when you're testing things. So we're ready to go ahead and start testing. So we're going to click this generate dummy payload using vertical fields. Now this is going to create a fake lead for us. This fake lead information is pulled from what you have set up in the vertical. So when you set up your vertical, and we look over how this vertical pulled up already, this is our simple contact form vertical that we're testing with. Everything that you put in this example field here will populate as dummy data when you're doing testing. This will make your life way easier and just speed things up later on. So if you want to change any of this, this is where you're going to go ahead and do that. But in this case, we've generated our dummy lead here. So we have John Doe, and we want to test our integration. So we're just going to click on this transform to buyer format button. This is going to transform it over into the integration that we had just done. So these are all fields, how it got transformed over. So we look like we're pretty much ready to go. Now, if you want to change anything, you can always do this. So if we want to change example.com to say Google, you could do that and save that for testing, which is kind of helpful. Or if you missed something before and you just want to retest really quickly, you can do that. But we're ready to go. So we're going to click send post. This is going to send this dummy data over to that endpoint. So in this case, we are good. So we made it over, everything was there. So this is exactly, there's 3 tabs here. This is exactly what we sent. So this is exactly the headers, the whole thing. So you can double check what you sent is what you intended to send. This middle tab is the most important, which is what they responded back with. So they sent back status success, great. A testing dollar value, so we can say, hey, okay, they're responding 8 cents, perfect, and then a confirmation ID. And then it's always good to look at this one. Cool. Endpoint doesn't have a success response. Perfect. So in this case, we're all set. We can look back at this integration and make sure, oh, actually, we want to change this. So this is kind of an important setting here. Endpoint does not have success response. So sometimes if you're sending to a CRM that just doesn't respond back with anything, or just a 200 or 400 response, you can turn this on. It will ignore these settings here. In this case, we know they respond back with something. So let's go ahead and click save here. We want the system to know that we are going to be responding back with success response. So we're going to go back to our test integration. It cleared it out here. So let's transform again. We're good. Let's send another test lead. And again, we got that green response, so we're good here. We got the success response, different confirmation ID, and okay, this time perfect. our system's recognizing it. So we're seeing status success and the confirmation ID, which are the two things that we programmed in the last step for the integration to look for. So we are good to go here. Now, if you're following along, you could probably stop here in terms of if you want to see this, but I'm going to go ahead and show you ones if you get an unsuccessful response. So, for example, what's something that they require? Looks like they require the source. So if we went ahead and deleted source, so this is a new payload, we're going to go ahead and cause it to fail just so you can see what you do in that case. So we send the test here. All right, so we got an error back, which is good. It means that the system's recognizing that, hey, the other side did not accept this, and it says must have required property source at path form. So that makes sense. We had the form dot source that we had just deleted. So it was a missing field. So we're missing that field. It didn't accept it. We would have to go back and fix that. And so we can see here that that's missing. So that's going to show. So whenever you see this, you do never want to move forward until you get that green success response here. In this case, you want to look back and see from that response. This middle tab is going to be your friend here. What is that we're missing? So we're going to go ahead and add that back in. So sources that add back in since I retransformed it, send the post, and we're back to green. So that's how you test direct post endpoints. Pretty straightforward. In the next settings, we're going to go and show you how to do ping post integrations and testing ping post integrations.